if someone was taking notes on what I was doing drinking wise for a timeout, that's how you do it. You kind of get to a spot and then you maintain.
Yes.
Right? And then that's what dude maintain's all about right there. Like
Yep.
I hit S tier levels of dude maintain.
Welcome everybody to Court Cousins episode 86. My name is Kyle. It is good to be back here with my co-host, my cousin, Jason the Pich. Pich, it has been too long. I missed you. I missed all you beautiful second cousins out there. Tell those people what's on today's show, Pich.
Well, we're going to have to revisit the 4th annual Court Cousins night. We don't have that as a separate segment. I'm telling you, we're going to do it. So buckle in for that. We've got the emotional check-in, see how we're doing. It's been a while. We may need to emotionally check in with the community as well later in the show. We've got the social media roundup, which is part of what we're talking about there. I've got a special pep talk lined up that's going to come out throughout the whole show. So everybody get around, take a knee, and get ready for this last part of the season. Let's stay sane, everybody. We can do it. And it all ends with it's large, robust, sometimes even flotatious. If thrown in water, it's a large ending.
I can't wait to get the pep talk from Coach Pich.
These kids,
huddle up, everybody.
You're going to be running baselines. I'm telling you.
Before we get into all that hilarity and hijinks, shout out to all the folks that helped this show go. We love you. We appreciate you. Shahin, Luis Rosario, Paolo and Franz's Warmth, Magic Player History, Matthew Bell, Damien, and Gloria. Those are folks that help us over on the Patreon. $5 a month is the lowest. Helps to pay for all the things that go into this show. Thank you so much. And a special shout out to everyone, Pich, who was at Court Cousins night. There it is. That's one of the awesome things Lewis made. He made some tremendous stuff. The 4th annual family reunion Court Cousins night. It was the best by far. It was awesome being in the mega suite with everyone. The energy was up. The team won, just stomped out the Nets. We're at 4-0, Pich. And I really just love you all down there in that community and appreciate your friendship near and afar. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough good words about it. Like you said, definitely our best so far. A great outpouring of group. I appreciate everyone who came through. We had a lot of fun giving away a lot of stuff. The team gave us some stuff to give away. Yes. Lewis giving us both of us rides to there. I got a ride to the airport from him. He picked you up from the airport. Plus, he was making wood stuff to hand out to everybody, and he was talking my ear off about how we can grow the show. This guy just putting it in. But it was great to see everybody and get to hang with some people. I mean, that was it, man. That's the kind of stuff we hoped. I think you, when you wanted to put this whole thing together, that's where you wanted to get to, is something like what we just did. And I think next year we can do it at either the similar level, which would be totally fine with me, or bigger. But by bigger, I mean like a little longer time is all.
Yes.
Like maybe you could put in a full 24 hours in Orlando next time. Like,
no, definitely. The trip was truncated. I literally flew in Thursday morning and out Friday morning because a buddy at the last minute threw a bachelor party on me in Costa Rica. Don't cry, dry your eyes, all right, ladies and gentlemen. No need to shed a tear for me.
Yeah, we've all been there. It happens. It's part of life. But next year, I've already got a couple new people that are going to come and join. And of course, as long as all those people who keep coming, we keep growing this and keep seeing the same faces every year. It makes it a lot more fun, man. It's nice to catch up with everybody in one place. And as great as it was to see all the people that we've seen consistently, it was awesome to see a whole bunch of new faces there as well. So welcome into the Court Cousins family tree, which will probably only grow as
it's strong, many limbs
as this show. Yeah, it's gonna keep going.
That has been the biggest blessing of a side effect from doing this podcast that I never actually thought that it would get to, having this community, you all out there, out in the world. But Pich, the why is just to hang out more with my cousin. And that's why I'm happy to be on here. I haven't talked to you in a while. So I genuinely want to know, as we start every show with the emotional check-in, charting our feelings based on an image of a Franz Wagner. Pich, sir, how are you doing for the emotional check-in?
Yeah, I almost took this photo here into Canva to put a burning house behind him, like
Mm-mm.
that popular meme, because
No.
why?
Well, I'm worried about you now. You said there's a burning house?
Well, no, this is just me kind of living my life. Look how Moritz, he looks confident. He's like, I'm good. Stuff's going on. But in the background, I continue to see the fire that is the Orlando Magic community like burning behind me. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna live my life over here and do my thing. Like, but we're gonna talk about it today and finally address it, which will be good to kind of get off our chest. Because we haven't been doing shows as much
Yeah.
as we'd probably like, or as
Yeah.
much wrap ups and all that kind of stuff, but we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the season here where we're going to pick that up. And I feel like things are in disarray. So it's time to, I'm cool and collected. As you can see here, Moritz just looks like, hey, I'm all business. I'm doing my thing, baby. I'm showing up for work. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're doing our thing. And,
Yeah.
and everything in the background's burning technically. So it's kind of just like, he's just standing there doing his thing and
Very
everything
GQ
else kind
look.
of going crazy.
Very like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
got it.
very
Suave.
suave.
That's where you are, Pish. Suave. You're a suave man.
Well, I mean, only when I used to use that deodorant, because I don't think anyone else would ever call me that. But I did use Suave deodorant
please.
for a while.
You're the silkiest on the airwaves, Pish. Always have been, always will be, baby.
Well, speaking of deodorant, how you smelling right now, sir?
Oof. Okay. I love it. I am you alluded to it. We've been a little showless because of just life things, and this team hasn't been playing well. I've been doing things with my wife, so that's been wonderful. I have a pumped up Moritz Wagner right now, Pish. I've already had a day today. I got the notification that I already don't have school tomorrow. We're getting 9 to 11 inches, maybe even more here overnight. So I do not have work tomorrow. Your boy is on the loose. And today I gathered many friends in my abode and we played Dungeons and Dragons. I've just started a campaign. I'm a rookie, just dipping the toe, playing a paladin. And Pish, I divine smited my first divine smite as a paladin, baby. That's what it's all about. If you don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, as a paladin, you want to smite. And I smited, and that's why I still have my armor on, baby. I got my armor on t-shirt with the starter jacket over it, and I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go. I got the day off tomorrow. The wife is stuck in Las Vegas. She couldn't fly back. So your boy's got a bachelor pad. I'm just hanging out with my cousin. Things are good tonight. I love you, baby.
All right. Wow. Feeling good, smiting those that deserve it. What a day.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe you even agreed to do the show. It can only go downhill from here.
Oh, my goodness gracious, Pish. Okay. Well, things are going well here in the Langen homestead, but as you alluded to, we have some rocky things to cover with our beloved Orlando Magic. So we'll pull off the Band-Aid.
Maybe I should grab a beer. I'm drinking water here, but maybe I should grab a beer for this part.
Oh, yes, maybe you should. There were many, many pipes and meads imbibed and enjoyed during the Dungeons and Dragons session. This is quite the magical world. Yes.
All right, you go ahead and lead off this first thing. I'm going to grab one.
All right, here we go. We got ripping off the Band-Aid. This is from our boy Al over at Orlando Magic HQ. Al, I didn't get to see you this time down in Orlando. I love you. I miss you. I'll see you soon. He is replying to the news that Orlando Magic HQ put out that Franz Wagner, who suffered that high left ankle sprain against the Knicks so long ago and has missed 25 games, is out indefinitely and will be reevaluated in another 3 weeks. Al is beside himself, forlorn. I feel your pain, brother. Just fast forward to the end of the season already. What a complete mess of a season it has been up to this point. All the excitement and high expectations just to have a repeat of last season. And Pish, I do empathize because in many ways, this has been a repeat of last year. Talking about just players games missed. Last year, we were 18th in the league in terms of money time missed, 251 games last year. This year, through a little over half the season, we have 10 players missing 120 games, and we're 20th in the league. So, yeah, we're about the same place in terms of injuries last year. Feels like we're treading water. And with Franz Wagner, man, it's a huge, huge blow. It's a huge blow. And some people are really pissed off about this, Pish. People are up in arms saying they didn't want him to play in Germany. And to those people, I say, just go sit down, please. I know I'll have more serious conversations about the amount of international basketball player one of our pillars has been playing the years, all the summers. It might be like, okay, Franz, calm down with that. But to play in Berlin for the Magic, I don't begrudge the man that, and I don't think that's the reason that this is now becoming an extended period. Has it been the best thing to do? It doesn't look like it. They tried to get him back, and things weren't quite right. So I want him to get healed, and this is the team that we have now, and an opportunity for these guys to step up and play, Pich, you know?
Yeah, I got to agree with you. And you know me, I'm the first one to say, oh, I don't want our players playing and stuff that doesn't matter. But when we have a chance to play in your home country, they don't play a lot of NBA games over there. So your team's playing over there. You want to play in that game. I mean, I got no problem with it. But, man, you got to think if he wasn't okay to play in that game, you know, maybe you just put him out there for a couple of ceremonial minutes and then have him sit. I mean, maybe it got worse by playing. I don't know what the concept is, but either way, we're all bummed that he's out because it's a consistent story with Orlando Magic fans to always wonder how our guys are out. When are they coming back? There's always a mystery attached to it. There's never it's probably going to be 2 weeks. Okay, we can live with that. We'll wait through the 2 weeks. It's always a mystery. There's always, we don't know. We'll see. Well, maybe 3 or 4 weeks we'll reevaluate. And it's always a mystery. And it's always like, can you give me a timetable at all? Can you give me something? That's all we want.
Well, we got 3 weeks reevaluated, to be fair.
Yeah, but 3 weeks, they reevaluate. And then when they reevaluate in 3 weeks, it could be another 3 weeks. It's like when you're waiting for a plane and they constantly tell you that it's going to be about a half hour. Going to be about a half hour. Even if they know when the first time that it's going to be 2 hours, they keep telling you a half hour on purpose because they don't want everyone to freak out. That's what they do.
Hopes alive.
That's a fact.
And so do you think he's going to be back for the playoffs? Or do you think they're just going to be teasing us? Yeah, all right.
I don't know, and that's why we're all frustrated, right? If we knew one way or the other, we'd be fine with it, but we don't. So that's what's angering about it. But what's also angering about it a little bit for me, and I think it's part of the reason that a lot of people are starting to burn things down and turning on each other in the Magic fan community, is it's like, look, when other teams lose players, they find a way to step up. I told you this at the end of last season, and I stood by it, and there's a reason for it. And you know I don't like them, but the Boston Celtics lost their best fucking player, and they're still good.
And they traded KP.
So we have all these players that go down with injury, and yet we're not good, and then we just use the injury as an excuse. At some point, you got to rise up. The next man comes off the bench, steps in, fills the hole, you move forward. There's something missing to we have parts, but it's like when you're making a cake and everything doesn't mix well together until you drop that egg in there. And I feel like Franz, unfortunately, is the egg for our team. I feel like if he's out there, whatever other players kind of step out there, I feel a little more good about it. And it's not a knock on Paolo Banchero. I'm not here to knock on Paolo Banchero, nor would I ever or suggest that you do.
I might knock a little later.
But I'm just saying that, like, I feel more confident with him out there as the egg keeping everything together. But it's not just that. There's something else missing, right? Why can teams like the Celtics find a bunch of white guys that look like they came out of the rec league down the street from you and win a ton of NBA games? There's got to be a reason for it, right? There's got to be some coaching in there.
Oh, we're going to talk about all that.
Training-wise. So there's a lot of that stuff missing, and you have to look at those people and be like, what's good? So,
and that's
we're
why
checking in with Yachty right now.
Our good homie Yachty is frustrated by what you're just saying. That's why I wanted to bring this up, because it's just the carousel of minutes and the lack of continuity. And okay, can we get this nice recipe to kind of mix together and churn well? Because he's quoting Kevin O'Connor with a very sad crying man meme face here. This year, the Magic, since last season, have had 1,300 minutes roughly with Franz and Paolo together. With just Franz, it's been almost 1,600. With just Paolo, it's been about 1,700. Without them is the most, 1,854 minutes without both of them. So the excitement around this team is having our two tentpole stars playing together and playing off of each other, and we just haven't seen a lot of it. I will say, thank God for Desmond Bane. Thank God for Desmond Bane, and thank you, Anthony Black, as well. But if we did not get Desmond Bane in the offseason, we might not be 500.
Right. Well, Desmond Bane used to do that same thing for Memphis, right?
Yeah.
Ja Morant would be out, Jaren Jackson would be out, and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, look at this dude scoring 30 points. He was the guy that kind of kept Memphis in the conversation. So he's doing that same thing for us. That's the kind of player he is. So that's why we went and got him. And whether people think it was too high a cost or not, I think getting off some of the contracts we got off, and at the time, no notes about that trade. Like that was just, it feels like a high price, but like our draft picks weren't going to be high. So it's like,
they shouldn't be
giving up.
They shouldn't be. But then again, we did lose to the Phoenix Suns last night, and that was supposed to be the crown jewel of this trade. And the Memphis Grizzlies may want to end up taking our draft pick instead, Pich. That can't happen. That can't happen. And I think that's why there's so much criticism and frustration, is because it's one of our guys out. It's Franz Wagner. But we got Desmond Bane. Anthony Black is ascending. And oh yeah, by the way, number 1 pick, that dude, Paolo Banchero. And we're going to talk much more about, some of the things swirling around Paolo right now, but that's where a lot of the criticism is coming in. And the microscope is now on Franz on Paolo. Because if it's just without Franz, we should still be able to win a lot of games with those 3 guys I mentioned and a solid supporting cast. There's some guys around him that can shoot that have been playing well this year. But Kevin O'Connor, who I listened to the show, he did some great talking about this show, about our team on his most recent show. He brought up the net rating with all of those different things. And with just Paolo, the team is a -4. With neither of the two, Franz or Paolo, the team is -2.3 net rating. With both of them, we're +3.1 net rating. But with just Franz, the team is +6.2. So these are numbers that people will point to when they're trying to criticize Paolo, which I do not think is fair, but I will talk about that in a second.
Well, thank you for giving me some good stats to back up my egg theory of him being the mix. And that's part of the reason that I feel that way. But it doesn't need to be slander to Paolo to talk positively about Franz. They're on the same fucking team. Yeah. So let's not always constantly do that, people. Just because you're talking good about one doesn't mean, oh, well, he's not holding his weight. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. But, Paolo is the guy that they make the little pop figures of. He is supposed to be the face of our team. So, you'd like to think that with him out, you could still carry, right? Jaylen Brown's doing it without Jason Tatum. But Paolo's doing it. He's doing stuff. I think you can see that whatever's going on this season is wearing on him more than any other season prior to this. Whether it's he's having trouble with his hydration thing again, or something's upset with him and some member of the coaching staff or a player on the team. I don't know. There's lots of rumors. I'm not here to speculate about all that, but you can tell there's something different in his demeanor. Maybe he's a little hurt and he's playing through it. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but he looks like a different dude than the dude we've seen in seasons past. And I'm not sure what it is, but if I worked for the team and that was my job, I'd be digging pretty hard to figure out what the hell that problem was and get it right, because he's our guy.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He's our guy. And the stats are kind of even to down this year. Like field goal percentage from last year, even. Assists are even. 3-point percentage is minimally slightly down. The rebounds are up. But it's really the points per game. Last year, he averaged 25.6 points per game. This year, he's averaging 21.6. And in the last 10, it's 23 points per game. But it's still not the expectation that we had of Paolo. And that's really what's happening right now. It's a missed expectation situation at the moment. And I think for Paolo himself, too, I know he's probably frustrated with his play. But I think he's right there. Like, he's missing some bunnies at the rim. The midi has been off all year. But do I believe that Paolo can and will hit those shots? Yes, I do think that he can hit those shots. I've seen him do it before. And I actually like some of the things in the more recent games. He's adding some footwork in the lane. He's trying to get more crafty there. I think it's a little bit of a misuse. When Paolo's not good is when he gets the ball way out beyond the three-point line and it's offense, dribble, dribble, dribble. I'm going to try to break my guy, but then, of course, they're going to send help, and now I'm in the middle of a dribble trying to pass out. That's when it doesn't work too much. He's a play finisher. Franz is a play starter. He's more of the playmaker. Paolo is a play finisher. Let's get him in more advantageous positions, and that's why there have been other things. But, man, it spirals, dude. There have been people talking junk about Paolo Banchero, our guy, man.
So many people.
Yeah, it gets dark
like
over in the Facebook group.
A lot of people that are out of this community are doing it as well. But when the people in our community do it, that's when I'm like, hey man, what are you trying to gain here?
Yeah, well, there's like national people outside the media. I thought I had it, but I guess I don't. Talking about Paulo theory, drafting a good, not great player like a fringe all-star, which is actually worse. I didn't get it in there. It's actually worse than having a bust because then you over apply yourself, you over invest yourself in a guy who's not right there. And while theoretically I do understand that argument, if we're trying to be totally objective, I think a lot of teams, Jeff Weltman included, is trying to figure out this new CBA piece. And there's been some growing pains here, especially in some of the contracts that we've seen him give. And if you get a max contract, you've got to play like an all-star, or that contract is not really valuable for your team. It's not seen as an asset. It might be, less than, so it may be tough to trade it. And we've already seen what happens when you give players bad contracts as Magic. We've just done it 3 times. Cole Anthony, the guy from Denver, holy shit.
Wendell Carter Jr.
No, Tyus Jones, and who else? Oh, I can't even. That's horrible. This is why you don't smoke too many pipes, kids. We just traded for him last year, and we did the
Paulo.
OKC.
I don't like that it's called. I don't like that it's called Paulo theory, but
yeah,
I've thought this for a long time, and it was a big part of the Orlando Magic's problem because they would get a guy like Evan Fournier or Aaron Gordon, and they'd be like, "That's it, we got it. We're going to build around these guys, and this is what we're doing." And sure, Vooch was good enough to score a lot of points and be an all-star, but honestly, did you ever think that team was going to win the NBA championship? I never thought they would. I thought they'd be lucky to get out of the first round. They never did. So we didn't have to think about it, but there's a reason for it. It's pretty easy to see. I'm not even working for the NBA is not my job. It's almost the exact opposite of my job. I work for the NHL, but I can still see these things in players. Why can't these other guys see this? And so the Paulo theory is people are saying that, okay, maybe he's not worth that max contract. And now you've locked up your team all around this guy and he's not the guy. That's what they're saying. That's what the outsiders are saying. They're looking in, and I understand why they might assess it that way because they're thinking, why haven't we already moved up to being the number 1 or 2 team in the East? The East is not that difficult. You know what I mean? Like we have on paper what should be a top 3 team in the East, I think.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the
4
season.
or 5 after the trade deadline.
But it's not coming together for whatever reason. So something needs to be looked at, and I don't necessarily think it's the players on the roster per se. But I think we have some other talk about that later, so I will save it.
Yes. We have to be very careful because we have many talking points. They're all beautifully interwoven together. It's an expert show. That's why you come here. I was thinking about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I couldn't think of that human, but that's the human I was talking about. That's the 3rd contract we've had to trade off. But yeah, it spirals, man. If you don't go to the dark corners of the Magic Facebook community because while you have this BS Paulo theory, then you have people over there saying, at this point, I say trade him and P5, talking about Franz, who's out. The draft is stacked, and we can easily replace both. And Mo Wagner wants out, let him walk too. I'm sure we can get a couple firsts for both. This is just idiocy.
Congratulations, Willis Roy. You're the stupid idiot of the week. What a ludicrous statement.
I love all people, and I'm sure, Willis, you might be maybe a fine person, but this is just God smacking awful. This is absurd. We've drafted to get to this point. We already broke down to get to this point. You can't get into, by the way, we don't have our own 1st-round pick. I don't know if you know that. We traded it away. There is literally no incentive to be bad. If we get bad, we just give the pick to Memphis. But that's why it's stupid. But the philosophy of
it's also after the trade deadline, so you can't trade anymore.
The philosophy to get rid of these 2 guys who have shown themselves. Paulo's been an all-star. He has destroyed teams in the playoffs, the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was a menace. We've seen him do it. He can put it together. Franz has been phenomenal. We need them healthy. That's the big X factor with this team, sadly, and that's why getting back to Al at the beginning, it feels a little bit like deja vu for us Magic fans. But hey, we got to believe in this right now. Guys are under contract. This is our team, everybody. This is the core. Desmond Bane is here. He's pretty young to play with Paolo and Franz for the next few years. And we've got to make it work. We're going to talk about ways that people might want to make it work in just a second. I try not to get too far ahead of myself, Pich.
Okay. I just think, everybody on this team's still young. So it's not like they're all in their late 20s or early 30s and we need to start thinking about what's next. There's still plenty of time here. This whole society has gotten way too
TikTok happy.
You got to have it right now. And it's like,
give me that dopamine.
It doesn't need to be that way. Like, I really do miss the old NBA. You're sick of hearing me talk about that, but
here he comes.
They used to keep track of traveling, and the rules used to matter. And like guys would get on the team and they'd try to play all 82 games in a season. What a concept.
I'm
right?
in my
like,
rocker.
Men were men. It was a better product to watch, right? Like you knew who was going to show up every day. You didn't see guys out for maintenance or whatever all the time. Like I don't know. Like the NBA's got to figure out a way to keep these guys on the court, and it can't just be because I got a little scratch and I just want to take a day off today. Like all the other sports are tough, man, and they go and they play, and they sometimes NFL, they have 4 days between games and they're hitting each other for crying out loud. Like it's sad to watch this happen to this game that at one point I loved, but I'm starting to fall out of love with it until I watch some college basketball because it's just not the same game that we once saw. And I mean, in the playoffs, at least there's some more heart there, but in the regular season, there's like zero heart. It's guys trying to get numbers, trying to look good doing ABC. Team basketball is just not quite as there as much as it used to be.
All right, Pich. Jeez Louise, get off the rocker.
NBA sucks, bro.
We're going to talk about Adam Silver later. You should have saved that, Pich. That's Adam Silver talk later.
Okay, I thought we were going to that.
We can go to that. It makes sense now. It makes sense. But I do want to get back to what Mama Banchero was upset about because she did not like the shit talking that people were doing.
That's the meat and potatoes of this show.
All right. So, Pich, you're talking about all the things going on with the league league-wide. Let me see. Here we go. You got to explain this one to me. I watched a video moments before we got on of Adam Silver talking about tanking and trying to clean that up. Is this what he's talking about with the spare us for the fan speech? This is from Pacers Post Up. If you actually prioritize fans, you'd clean up the game on the floor and make it easy to watch. You promote stats, stars, foul baiting, flopping, and protect revenue at every turn. It's a business, fine, but this isn't about basketball.
Yeah, well, it's kind of just that whole All-Star game speech where he's trying to like defend what's going on with the game right now when we all know it's out of whack. And I like to try to find stuff like this one's from the Pacers, right? And I found that other one that was just from the Gen Pop. Like I don't always want to get the Orlando Magic fans takes because they're biased towards our team. I want to just here's the pulse of the NBA, right? Like you see this from all the NBA fans right now. Like you watched that game last night. How many times was Paolo and Anthony Black hit late in the game? No calls. We're just letting it roll. Like, I don't think that Paulo has reached that star level of the LeBron where he's going to get every call or the SGA or the Luka Doncic. And it's like, if you're not at that level, you don't get all those ticky-tack calls. Make that make sense. Is the thing a foul or is it not a foul, right? Like you have to be consistent with it. And if you're not consistent in anything in life, forget about sports or refereeing, it loses the validity and people just don't want to get with that anymore. So they've got to find a way to get this thing going in a positive direction. And he knows there's trouble. That guy in that press conference, he knew there was trouble with what's going on in this league. Now it's a matter of whether he does something to fix it.
Yeah. Interesting. I like when referees kind of let the guys play a little bit more contact, just added the defensive intensity kind of helps. I don't mind getting rid of like the hand checking stuff and being a little bit more strict with the offensive flopping and just tidy that up, bring those seams in a little bit. And I think I'll enjoy the product much, much more with the tanking thing. 'Cause that's been in big news as of late, the best thing I've heard, Pich, is from women's pro hockey. And I know you used to manage the barn that the Boston
Yep, I've heard of
Bruins
it.
ladies affiliate or the Boston female professional team did. They have this gold plan. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I've heard about the plan. That's been
Yeah.
mentioned well before. The guy who came up with it is getting all this credit like he's the king or something. It's like we all thought of plans like that way before, and now he's getting all the credit for it. It's good, but that's a very small league. So
Yeah.
like for that league, it works pretty easily because all the teams really aren't that bad. So like when you're out of the playoff hunt, you start earning these points towards the number one overall pick.
Yeah. Explain it
But
to
the
the
worst
people.
team
Explain it to the
still
people.
gets it.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's kind of it. I don't
Yeah.
know that every
Once you
100% thing, but
mathematically qualify that you're
all right.
out of the playoffs, then then you have to get the most wins, and the team with the most wins after they're
Well,
eliminated from
most
the
points.
playoffs gets the first pick.
Hockey is points. So
Yeah.
it's either wins or ties or there's a point system. So
Okay. Yeah.
it's whoever has the most points at that point then moves on, which it works in a way
Yeah.
because there's it's not a large league. So all of the teams are pretty talented. Whereas
Yeah.
in the NBA, things are spread out a lot more because there's 32 teams. So or is it 30? No, it's 32.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more spread out. So like those bad teams are still real bad. So if you did that, I don't think that some of those bad teams are necessarily going to be able to put up points to like be able to get a high pick. And then you're going to have those fringe teams that just miss the play in always getting the top pick because they're just good. And I feel like it's
Sure.
going to put more emphasis on a team like the Orlando Magic, honestly, at this point, if this was in play and the 9th and 10th seeds like got to play in that tournament for points,
Yeah.
well, now you got a little better chance at winning the number one pick, because if you just drop down a little and then start earning those points.
Yeah, but you'd have to. I mean, the team that is eliminated from the playoffs first has the best chance to accrue the most points. So the teams that are just getting into those play-ins, they're not mathematically eliminated to the playoffs till very right before those games. So it just stops teams from doing that. But then on the flip side, you'd probably have people trying to game that, right? Because then the math is be as bad as you can early in the season and then get good. So teams would just have a bunch
That
of
was
stars.
the whole point of the lottery.
Yeah.
The lottery was put in place to stop teams from tanking because, now if you have the worst record, it doesn't guarantee you'll get the number one player, right? So they maybe need to adjust that a little bit, because honestly, that's why I never liked tanking, even though I've joked about wanting to tank in the past on this show. Like I've never liked the concept of it because your best case scenario is what, 25% of the balls in there? That's not a great opportunity. Like it's not worth screwing up a whole year. It's not worth pissing off your fan base, having them go to games that you're not trying to win. Like where's the pride? Where's the sense of care? Like we've seen that here in Orlando. Remember that team, that the Heart and Hustle team? Like that team wasn't good, but they fought so hard that it was awesome, right? And it sold tickets and people were into that. Like that's one of the eras we remember the most of Orlando Magic basketball. I mean, where is that from teams on a regular basis? Now they're all spoiled millionaires that don't seem to care that much about the common fan. And quite frankly, it's true, bro.
Very old man on the porch today, Pich. You're very old man on the porch.
If it wasn't true, I'd get off the porch because I'd be glad to get off. I know what I see, man. I know what I see. And I saw guys that used to play hard, play more games. They felt like if they couldn't be out there for game 72 of the season, that they were letting their team down, regardless of whether they had a shot to be in the playoffs or not. Because they know fans are coming to see them.
Yeah.
They don't want to see them in warm-ups sitting on the sideline or wearing some FUBU stuff on the side in their street clothes. Like that's not interesting, right? Like at some point we have to be able to hold these players accountable. And I know that the Players Association must have a great deal in place, because when you get to guys that are like Anthony Davis, how does a guy keep making money? He's not on the freaking court. His job is to play basketball and he's never doing it. So why is he getting money? Like, I just don't, they need to figure out a way to recoup some of this money back and put it back into the team, because it's unfair.
Or put it into the fans, right? Put it into the fan base somehow, make tickets cheaper, that type of thing. But that's what teams should be doing. They rejiggered this a while ago, and they made it so that if you're the worst team, you don't automatically get the number one pick. And I think what it maybe unexpectedly did is incentivize more teams to then be as bad as you can, because Just like, the Dallas Mavericks getting the number 1 pick. They weren't the worst team in the league last year, right? Weren't they sniffing the play-in or even in the play-in? So it's like,
Yep.
I think they wanted to do that, but now more teams are just trying to get to that bottom 5. I think that's the holy zone now, and teams are fighting over that. And what's the solution for that? I don't know. I mean, I think, like you said, this is also just the natural respiration system of a team. Many fans, we want the team to get torn down if you reach kind of a pinnacle of, okay, this is a ceiling. All right, we've played with this team for 5 years. 5 years, 6 years down the road, this team hasn't done anything. They haven't gone over the mountaintop. Then you understand, all right, tear it all down, get draft picks in here. And when that happens, the onus is on the owners of the team to step up the fan experience. I mean, it should always be stepped up, but really make it good. Give discounts. Do discounts on food and stuff. Make family nights. Get people in there with kids. Make the product good. Have some fun young players. Work those narratives so it can still be fun to go out to a basketball game and you don't have to break the bank, even though you know your team's probably going to lose. You still got some things to look for. And that's the thing that pisses fans off. Everything just keeps getting more expensive, and the player experience just seems to be left in the lurch in a lot of places.
Agreed, man.
Or they're giving you some AI thing you didn't ask for. They're like, well, it's $400, but now you have an AI assistant to go everywhere and hold your dick while you pee. It's like, I didn't ask for that.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody wants that. I mean, it's hard to give baseball credit because they don't always have the greatest numbers as far as selling out their games, but you can get into a baseball game affordably when the team is mid-level. You know what I mean? Like all season, like you can get in there. Like right now, the Mavericks, they stink. You can't get into those games. They're way too expensive. Like if you want to get in there, you're sitting way up top, and it's like, why can we lower these? Do you want people to come in? Like who is this for? Like at a certain point, you start to realize that maybe it's just for the elite, and it's like, well, I'm not into that, so I guess I'll go pay attention to the sports that are allowing me to watch them for an hour.
Go sit in the nosebleeds, peasant. Give me $200.
Yeah, it feels like that in a Mavericks game. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's probably not like that at all NBA stadiums.
It's a little bit better in Orlando, but it's still. I mean, we're competing. We're supposed to be competing now. This is the team where you can ticket prices were raised, and that's why people are pissed, and that's why people are taking frustration out on players and everyone's staff. Everyone's getting it, and Mama Banchero's not happy about it, Pich.
No, she's not. And we're going to get to her in a second. But to your point, you want to see when you get a core together, you've got like a 5-year span before you decide you want to break things down. And I think that's part of the frustration here is that like, okay, well, in 2030, are we going to have seen this whole team play together ever? Yeah. Or are they just going to always have one guy out here, one guy out there, trying to figure out how to make this work? And so that's why I think we're like, yeah, we want to actually see them all together first. Get a couple of seasons in and see, is this right? Do we need to tweak something still? Do we need to break it down? I mean, I don't think any of those things are necessarily true, but we have no proof. So,
yeah, way too early. That's way too early.
Lies, but no matter how frustrated you get, do not attack members of the family of any of the players. Like, you know me, I've given a ton of shit to J.I., Wendell Carter Jr., plenty of our players. I'm not going to get in their Twitter feeds, find out who their parents are, who they're dating, and be like, hey, your son's terrible. Like, what are people doing? Knock it off, calm down. And hopefully everyone realizes that there's always going to be a few bad seeds, right? Like you look at teams like Philadelphia and okay, most Philadelphia fans are pretty terrible. Most Boston fans are terrible, but I know some good ones. I know some good ones. They're out there.
Yeah.
They're out there. So you can't always take the word of one or two people and say that that's the entire fan base, because that gives us all a bad name, right? Like you don't want that for us. So that's, I just really hate to
like, we're not all Willis Roy, we're not that.
Right. Like, guy is something wrong. I mean, maybe he's on the spectrum. Did someone talk? Be picking on.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. We send love to Willis, even though we don't love his take. It's crazy talk. It was someone talking about his mother specifically. Is that why? I thought she just replied to someone talking junk on Paolo, to the 6-man show here. Someone probably in one of their feeds. Don't worry, Orlando Magic fans. We are watching from Seattle. Y'all don't want him. We got him. Who was responsible for the excitement back in the O after years of disappointment? I'll wait. And Ray Shard retweeted and quoted that. He says, Mama Banchero isn't happy. We really might have 2 years left of Paolo. Let's cherish these years, Magic fans. which is
Yeah, well, it was a big conversation going on through the six-man show, so they got attached to it as like they were the ones talking shit, and they were
no, but
basically defending Paulo, saying
right.
if you have a problem with Paolo Banchero, unfollow us. And I
Yeah.
think it got taken out of context, and people went the wrong way with it, and I feel bad for those guys because we all know those guys are the biggest Magic stands we got around here, and they're
Yeah.
always nice and clean. So
Yeah.
so let's get up off them.
That statement makes sense. I
but,
stand by that. If you got a problem with Paulo, unfollow. If you want to trade Paulo right now, you can unfollow. We don't need you, Willis, right now.
Yeah, I mean, it just was one of those things. But and then to have her reach out and say this, and it's since been deleted, right? So that means that there must have been some sort of gravitas.
Oh, that's
or,
good.
Mom, dude,
That's good.
Mom, don't do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's too late. We got
Okay.
photos of it. We see it. It's out here. But understandably, that's
Right.
what that's what you would do, right? Like,
Yeah.
somebody's picking on a member of your family, you stick up for them. So
Dude,
we're
and
for
this-
it here at Court Cousins.
This is all American Rhonda Banchero too, bro. Like this is like Washington U Huskies all-time scorer when she left, professional baller herself, complete competitor,
knows ball.
dog in the post, like give you boards all day and on your head dunking. Like she's gonna give it to you.
Right.
So she's a competitor. So
She's what Wendell Carter should be.
yeah. Wendell Carter, I thought, had a really nice end to the Phoenix game. I don't think we're going to talk about that game much. But anyways, back to, Mama Banchero sticking up for her boy. You get that. She's a competitor. She's going to stick up for her guy and her son. Totally get it. I'm glad you told me she deleted this because it just adds to the tension, right? She knows that this is a troll. And these people are off their rocker. They're fanatics. We're fanatics by name. We're fans. People are, different levels of obsessive about their fandoms, whatever they might be in this world. And some people are, there's no other group that is more likely to have some idiots among us than a group of fanatics, just based on our name. That's what we do. It's in people's blood. So people get really emotional about this stuff, and so should she. And I'm glad to hear that cooler heads prevailed. She took it down. She probably realized in the end, like, nah, I don't want to. Let's take the tension down. And, like, kudos to you, Mama Banchero. Totally understand where she's coming from. But, yeah, people are crazy with this trade Paulo talk. We must stop this right now. We just gave this young man an extension. That contract shows our values and shows our belief in him. And he is our guy and one of our guys moving forward in the core of this team, along with Desmond Bain, Franz Wagner. Those are our three guys, maybe AB or Jalen Suggs. Geez, he's been so injured, I forget about him too, Pich, adding to the injury woes. But he's our guy. Like, yes, as I said earlier, he's missing some stuff at the rim. Amongst guys who take like 5 shots per game at the rim, Paolo is way down there. And it will get better though. Like the midi is off. It's really bad, but I've seen them fall. I know they can fall. I know he can hit these shots. I think it's a little bit between the ears. I like what he's adding in terms of more rebounding, some footwork in the lane, and I think that we need to utilize him better. And that's for next.
Right. But if something is between the ears and going on, the last thing your star player needs is for all of those fanatics to get so crazy that they're lashing out, saying inappropriate things. So, like, it's just like, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a fanatic. Okay. I love the Orlando Magic, but I am a fan. Yeah. I'm not a fanatic. I got other things going on in my life. I like to watch the games and keep up with the team, but like, I don't put all of my living and being on how the team is doing. And I would suggest for everyone's mental health in the Magic community, y'all do the same. Find something else you like. I know Jay likes Lorcana. Kyle's into Dungeons and Dragons. Find you something else to do, right? Like get a wife, have a family, do something, have something else you like to do so that you can just enjoy the games for what they are and not put so much of, why are you beefing with people you don't know on Twitter? Like ever. Yeah. Like why? Like, just get something else to do because it's making it. Unfortunately, that's the society we live in right now. He's going to see that stuff. All the players can see any of this stuff.
They're young, man. These are kids.
Right now
they grew up
like,
with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of them are seeing this right now going, but wait, Pich, you talk shit about me. But it's like a lot of times I'm talking shit because I'm looking to motivate, right? Like I'm not coach that's going to get up your ass about stuff. I'm not going to just
Yeah.
pat you on the head and be like, keep it going. That
Yeah.
you got Jamal Mosley for that. I'm here to give you the rough stuff you might not want to hear. That's all. Someone's got to do it.
I try to be
Bad cop, good
objective.
cop.
Yeah. I try to be objective, but my heart bleeds Orlando Magic, so it's tough. It's family, dude. This is family. This is why we have this podcast. My love for my cousin, my love for family. Like, this is connected to our family. But yeah, like you alluded to it, I've alluded to it, Pich. If this is our core, and it is, all these guys are under extensions, long-term contracts. We want to rock with these guys on paper, and what we've seen with eyes at different times flashes this team can be really tremendous. If it's not, then where does the liability go? And as Henry Payton is using Tyus Jones as an example of someone who's moved to a new location in a different offense, he sees over a few games looking really good. He says, players, Mosley just effing sucks. Oh my God, I didn't know this was so intense. It's an abomination what he is doing to this roster. Holy shit, that was a little intense after what we just... Yeah, I don't know if I go all the way there, but it's getting to the point...
The point was really the first part of that, which you just didn't mention.
Sorry.
Because Tyus Jones looks like another player in Dallas. Players moving without the ball, setting screens, cutting, and actually an actual offensive system. Tyus making some good, smart passes leading to baskets. He has the talent, and I was like I was saying earlier, I think we have good, talented players on our roster. I don't love what we do out there, because a lot of times it's nothing, or it's two guys doing something and the other three guys standing around. I do not see the game plan. I don't see the movement, and I don't think we get the most out of all of our players.
Yeah.
I think we get – I don't think there's one player that I think we get the most out of on our team right now, and that's sad. Maybe Anthony Black. I think maybe he has a little bit more in there, but we may not know because – we don't seem to be good at developing guys to that. Take him up. Take this guy to star level. Where's that? I don't see it, and I don't see a game plan that works. Part of the reason what the Celtics are doing, to get back to that idea, is that they have a game plan and they run that game plan.
Yeah.
And there's even talks of Jason Tatum being able to come back, but he doesn't want to come back because he doesn't want to ruin what they've got going on right now. Imagine that. Imagine a guy who is that important to your franchise being like, well, they got a good thing going. I don't want to come back and fuck it up. But that means they've got that good a thing going. Why can't we have that good a thing? At least even if it's not working, try some new stuff. Throw some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Like, you just see the same shit all the time. And I think that's a large part of the frustration too. At least it is for me, because it feels like we're always talking about the same stuff, and I'm not seeing guys cut into the hole, and I'm just seeing guys standing out by the 3-point line, or a game goes by where Desmond Bane only throws up 1 or 2 3-pointers, and I'm like, you're here to shoot 3-pointers. Shoot more 3-pointers. Like, I know we shot a ton of them in that game against the Kings, but it's just it doesn't look like what we're doing for a game plan is what I feel like is most lacking right now, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, all our players, Weltman, our general manager, president, or whatever his title is, he is all in, chips in with the Desmond Bane move on this core of Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero. These are 4 guys. We'll move other pieces around that core, it seems. So when that happens and you have a regression year and don't meet expectations, and if the Magic come up short again and seem, as you said, to not have any offensive juice, nothing seems to be ascending in the right direction, the coaches, that's who takes the fall. And deservedly so, undeservedly so, if you think some of it's coming from the players, whatever, it's time for a new voice in the locker room. As hard as Coach Mosley worked and tried, sometimes you just got to switch things up and see if we can do something a little bit different to optimize this talented roster that we are locked in with. Like, we're rolling with this crew for the most part for the next few years at least.
Yeah, barring a huge end to this season and maybe a playoff run to the second round.
Yeah.
I cannot see him coming back as our head coach next year. Something's got to give, and I don't think it's our big players on our team. We can't move those. We're not going to move those contracts. So something's got to change, and that's something that can change. And I think it might make a big difference. I know at one time at the beginning of the year, we thought, well, if we have a good season, he could be coach of the year maybe. But let's be honest, I don't think he's getting the most out of these players. And I don't know what he has to do to do that. That's not my job. I'm just calling him like I see him. And I don't see him getting the most out of his team like I do some of the other coaches and other teams around the league, where sometimes I just go, this team isn't as talented as our team. Why are they beating us? Why do they have a better record than us? Like, something's got to give, right? Like, somebody can get in that locker room and turn this team around.
I was disappointed with the addition of Joe Prunty, who was supposed to be kind of an offensive guy to this mix and doesn't seem to have really done anything. You already cited Desmond Bain coming in the season, thought he was going to shoot a career high attempts from beyond the arc. He's at like 4 or 5, like the lowest in his career now instead. Anthony Black's having some good play, but guys like Tristan Da Silva, Jet Howard has just been rotting on the bench for 3 years. I mean, I think that's been neglect. Like, he comes out and he's shooting the ball and he's showing some things this year and a little bit last year. Like, where was that? We just haven't managed it well. And there's a lot of things that you can give Coach Mosley credit for. This team fighting above and punching above its weight a couple years ago, but now the expectations are higher. Everything's changed this piece, and we're not there.
Yeah, that's the sad part, is that the expectations, I think, were set too high for us. So it kind of makes us a lot more bummed than we were in the Kem Birch era.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that sometimes people need to check themselves and realize that we're still going to be in the playoffs, right? Like, can you imagine people being upset?
Yeah.
And this is a team that's going to be in the playoffs.
We can still get to a spot where people won't want to play us. Like, if we play good for the last month of the league season, I'm sorry, going into the playoffs hot, you don't want to play a hot team going into the playoffs. So there's time here. I'm not optimistic because this is the same, coaching staff and leadership we've had for the past few years, and it's just been a little stagnant.
Yeah, maybe some of those other assistant coaches that we added will be of value when we actually get to the playoffs. Those guys weren't here last year. And if Franz comes back and he's hot, we're good to go. Whether he's an all-star or not, other teams do not want to play Franz Wagner. He's annoying to them.
No.
He's a tough matchup for a lot of teams. So if he's back and Paolo's back, we're still good. I mean, I understand it's frustrating, but this is a long one, and you gotta be ready. All right, listen, everybody, come on in. We're not going to drop any plays right now, although this team needs to drop plays desperately. Please, I beg of you. What have we learned today? We've learned that maybe our expectations were too high for this team, and we need to chill a little bit and see how things go. We're still in a good place, right? We've got a good young foundation. All of our players are still real young. It's not like we have any guys pushing 30 here. We're good to go. Like, let's have a little patience here, right? This is going to be a long journey to get to where we want to be. And during a long journey, you don't get crazy, right? You don't jump off a plane that's going to Orlando when you're over Georgia, right? It's like, let's just hang it on. Let's just hang on a little bit. Let's get there, right? So everybody just keep cool, keep calm. There's going to be another season after this one, by the way. This is not the last NBA season. I don't know if anybody knew that, but you're all acting a little fool like maybe this is it. But it's not over. No, there's more going on here. So let's not light the room on fire because there are cockroaches in one corner, right? Like, let's just figure out what the problems are in the offseason. We're going to come back bigger, better, stronger. People are going to be more motivated, right? These are those tough times that teams have to overcome and have in their past to harden them, right? Because they haven't had a lot of that going on. But now with these more expectations, it's put a little more pressure on them. And you see it kind of wearing on Paolo. But I believe that he's going to rise up. I think everyone in this room should believe that he's going to rise up. And I think that at the end of the day,
Coach,
we all need to realize that this team, we're a goddamn family, just like this podcast of cousins. So everybody put a hand in the middle and say family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family. We're going to do it.
Thanks, Coach.
Everybody get out there. Get some chops up. Get loose. Make sure your sneakers are tied tight.
Yes, Pich. Thank you. Thank you for those pearls of wisdom here. It's going to be okay. We've got a good basketball team here.
This isn't the last season of the NBA, correct?
No, I don't think so. No, they're in a good spot.
I just wanted to. I didn't actually double check that fact before the show, but I was pretty sure
They're
you're going to have more seasons.
They're talking about adding teams. Actually, it's going so well, and I think that's part of people's
Okay,
worry
well,
with the
all right.
Seattle thing.
That probably does say there'll be some more seasons. Then,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't even talk about that wrinkle with Mama Banchero's post about the whole Seattle connection, people's existential fear
Well,
about that.
I didn't bring it up because I think that's your existential fear.
Yeah.
You've always been fearful of it. It's always been a possibility that, look, it could happen,
Yeah,
but
of course
look,
he wants to go play
if
there.
we're good, if we're good and we're winning games, he's going to want to win games. He's not going to want to go to an expansion team. So
No.
get real, people.
Yeah, he can be a star. You can be a star in Orlando right now.
But if things are like they are right now and his contract runs out in 2 years, well, then maybe he goes.
Yeah.
So
Right. Okay, Pich, it's that time of the show. We've gotten through the social media roundup. We had some inspiration from Coach Pich. Now it's time for the large ending, sir. You get to push that button to start the music.
Well, it's right here on this fine pile created by Lewis.
Oh, yes.
Of the new logo.
Woo!
And we're all running. You're up first.
I am up first. I knew that. Yes. So there's been a lot of naming things after myself in our executive branch. Not bringing any politics into it, but, just naming things after myself. So it got me to thinking, Pich, what would I name?
Whoa, time out.
Yeah.
What? Let's have a little, what are you talking about?
What would you name yourself after? What?
What are you naming after yourself?
Whatever I want. I'm just asking you because Trump has named a lot of things after himself. He named all these different buildings after himself. He's naming committees and awards after himself. He's got a lot of things named after himself. And I'm like, politics aside, you can't argue that. We got a lot of new Trump things. What would you name after yourself? The Jason Pichet what?
Well, there is an operations office in Boston, Massachusetts that is named after me. And that was a great honor to me. I don't know if they still refer to it as that, but when I worked at UVM, there was a room called the Bostwick Room. And I always thought, man, it'd be great to have your name on a room that's just stands the test of time. And people have meetings in and press conferences in, and it's something to it. So for me, it would be something like that, right? Some way of putting your name in the rafters or on something that lasts. An arena would be amazing if there was a Pichet arena or something like that. But I'd take a good room. You give me a nice good conference room or something like that. In this case, I have that office that's named after me, the Pichet Memorial Operations Office, otherwise known as PMU, of course, for short. And I think that is probably one of the greatest things that you can have. That's what I would do.
Wow.
I'm curious as to what yours would be, but I don't want to waste my large question on that.
Okay.
So I'll ask you after.
Keep going.
Unless you have a really good one that you're not trying to wedge.
I wasn't thinking of anything. I'm stunned.
Okay.
I'm frozen.
All right.
I wouldn't want to name anything after myself, really, I don't think. Maybe like a hot dog, a really good hot dog, or that's some type of bacon pizza variant.
Taco.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, a taco. Yeah. Someone instead of the Al Pastor at some taco spot that I go to a lot, they called it the Al Langan or the Al Kyle.
Right. Yeah. You'd have to Irish it up somehow.
Yeah.
All right. Think about that. I think
go.
that's a good idea. So you were in Orlando for about 19, maybe 20 hours.
Yeah.
If you've got to pinpoint it down to one favorite part of that time, what was it? And I know it wasn't sleeping in the fine hotel.
Oh no! You were cutting wood too at 4 a.m, dude. Woke my ass up. Holy shit! This man. I'm getting a single next time. Let's see. What was I think it was just it's not really a moment. It was just the whole game, man. Probably the beginning of the game, walking into the suite, seeing how the 2 suites were opened up, and then everyone kind of filing in because we went in a few different groups as we were trying to get through the tickets and all that. And then people were just filing in and the room was filling up, and every time someone came in, it was another greeting and a hug, and then just that was the beginning of what I knew was going to be an awesome ride. I took the time to really just kind of breathe it all in and be grateful for it, and it felt really good and nice to be there with everyone.
Yeah, I would concur. I didn't mention it in the opening, and I probably should have. But if you haven't seen the little video I threw together quickly, it's on our Instagram and it's around. And I actually videotaped me walking into the suite for the first time, and it's the beginning of the video. And you can actually hear the moment when I see the view for the first time, and I go, "Oh shit!" And as I say, "Oh shit," I think the flames went off on top of the hoop or some shit like that. And it was just I didn't plan on any of that, but it just was that was my entry moment in seeing it. So I kind of felt that vibe, and I like that I caught it on camera, so I can very clearly catch that moment where I was like, "Oh shit!" We're in a suite today. We're in a double suite, and we're doing this.
Yeah.
And, the vibes were high in there, and I gotta say, I loved it. It was a good time.
Pich, we're watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is a Game of Thrones thing. I've got a couple questions. I know you opened a Game of Thrones game on Card Cousins, and so what is that looking like? How many people do you need to play that, and do you need a notebook? And just a quicker question, probably answer this one first. Which family or group would you be in? Which sect would you be in within the House of, or the Game of Thrones?
I would go the game opened up on Card Cousins. Not something we normally do, but there was technically cards in there, so it kind of works.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool. Like a board game opening. You're doing openings. It's cool.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. And I think I'd go with House Lannister. I like the logo. I like the red, and the lion is good. I like that they always pay their debts.
Yeah, they got money.
Yeah, well, they had money.
No.
They don't at the end of the show. They're kind of all bad. Except for the little fun one. But I think that might be where I would go. I think everybody thinks the Starks are all that and all that
chilling
jazz.
in Dorne, dude. They're hanging out there, never
Oh, that's a
conquered.
good call. That's a good call.
It's nicer weather.
Yep.
Chicks look like my wife.
People always want you in the fold.
Yeah, it's kind of arabesque down there, so I fit in, dude.
All right. Okay.
I've been practicing Arabi.
Well, I guess-
Speaking
of the opposite of Speaking of the opposite of that, weather-wise, did you watch any of the Winter Olympics?
Such little, dude.
Festival?
Such little. I watched one part of one hockey game until the trial on whatever I was watching it ran out. I didn't want to set it up to do the whole pirate. I didn't want to be a swashbuckler and do the pirate situation. Yeah, a little bit of curling that was on somewhere when I was there. And that's it.
Okay.
I know you did because I've seen you on Instagram. You're at work managing, the Dallas Stars are practicing in front of you, and you have your laptop watching Olympic hockey. So I imagine you got in quite a fair share.
8 of our players are over there, so we're missing a lot of guys. But they're still out getting ready to start the season back up. But yeah, I watched a fair amount of the hockey. We had it on at work almost all the time, so I saw a lot of figure skating, some curling, it was just kind of on all the time. Kind of hard not to see it. But definitely watch the semifinals and the finals of ice hockey pretty intently. Good stuff. Went to overtime today. The U.S. actually.
That's my question.
First time.
What happened in the game? Because I did not watch.
Well, it went to overtime, 1-1. Hellebuck, the U.S. goaltender, made some great saves, and in overtime, the U.S. got it done. It's the first time an American hockey team has won anything without it being on the backs of Canadian players on the team since 1980 when they won the gold medal. So, and that's kind of a little dig at all the American teams that are winning the Stanley Cup right now, for those in the know. But it was a good game. It was a great game for hockey. Honestly, if you weren't a normal hockey fan, you watch that game, that's hockey at its highest level. Every single guy on those teams is all NHL greats. I mean, Canada and U.S., well, at least Canada could make another team of guys that weren't there and probably still have medaled. That's how deep Canada's roster is. So definitely a big win for the U.S. and for USA Hockey. So it was good for the sport. Lots of fun. Part of the reason you were only in Orlando, like you mentioned earlier, was that you were in Costa Rica for that bachelor party, but we have not really heard any tales of this. The Super Bowl was that weekend. Any tales from this trip to Central America, by the way, in case you weren't sure where it was?
It was awesome. It was awesome. I wasn't aware of where it was before I went there, but I learned quite a bit. Pretty cool country, no military. but they have free education all the way through and healthcare all the way through college. They kind of just like outsource their military to the United States. They're kind of they pay the United States to kind of protect them, from what I understand, and then they reinvest what they don't have to do, which is nice. Hey, that's cool. Definitely whitewater rafting was the highlight through the Costa Rican jungle. That was sick. The rapids were no joke. They were 4 and 5 level rapids. I've never done it before. It was freaking sweet. Second place, close second place, we had this awesome villa, man. It was baller. It was crazy. We had a chef there, a pool. We had on the flat screen next to the pool on a projector the Super Bowl game. I was with a bunch of Pats fans. These are kids I knew from like New York City, Boston area, New England. So a bunch of Pats fans. They were pumped. They had Pats inflatable wings. I wanted to root against them because fuck the Pats. But then when you get there and it's your homie who's the Bachelor and he's a fan, I couldn't in that moment. When the game started, I was rooting for the Pats. But I was not upset when they got dog walked. That was okay. But yeah, having a pipe and then pounding a brew and cannonballing into the deep end as Bad Bunny's halftime show was going off was super lit. I mean, we were rocking out. It was awesome. Yes, there are definitely some stories that I cannot tell. So you're going to have to come to the next, the fifth annual family reunion if you want to get those stories. We'll see you down in Orlando, Pich.
All right. Well, hopefully I see you before that.
Yeah. All the other beautiful second cousins.
All right. Good times.
Yeah, man.
That's it. There's no more questions. That's it. We did them.
Well, then just meet us down there next time. Thank you to everyone who came out to the 4th. It was an experience of a lifetime. Really appreciate it. Love you, Pich, man. It's good to get back on here with you. That's all from me. Peace.
Love you too, man. Thanks for coming.